Hearty welcome, everyone. Just trying to get Philip unmuted and unvideoed. Philip, you might have to do it from your side. I'm not able to do it from mine. But hearty welcome to you all. And Philip, who's no doubt grappling with his video. We can't see you at present, Philip.
Okay.
You might have to make your video come on. But I'm sure Sarah can help you. There you go. Well done, Sarah.
She did it. She did it.
So very hearty welcome to you, Philip.
Thank you, Lynn.
And I hope everyone's looking forward to having a lovely meditate together. I will stop sharing the videos now so we can properly see each other. If you've been before, we'll try and deepen and strengthen our meditation. And if it's your first time joining us, we'll get you started. Don't worry. So our general format is we'll talk a little bit about it, get our first meditation happening. We'll watch a video of an excerpt of something interesting from the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji. Then we'll have another meditate at the end. So the important thing today is to meditate, which brings up an interesting point, Philip. What is meditation?
It's basically being in thoughtless awareness is the sort of the nitty-gritty of it all, is when we're in the center within ourselves, which Kundalini awakening gives us, where we're in the moment, thoughtlessly aware. We're aware, but we're thoughtless. As human beings, when we think, we either think of the past or we think of the future, and that can load up and bother us. The beautiful thing about Sahaja Yoga meditation is that once the Kundalini is awakened within us, it brings into being the central channel, which places us in the center. And as we let that grow through meditation, where the mind is much quieter. Meditation is not necessarily when we're just sitting down with our hands out, which is the practice which makes it grow, of course. But it's the mind being contemplative and much more silent and quiet, which is a big thing today, considering that we're in this era of a lot of things going on to attract the brain and the mind.
And so thinking has such a big reputation.
Yeah. Meditation, it's a beautiful position to be in. Yeah.
It is. Sorry, I was talking over the top of you then, Philip.
All right.
I was just trying to say that, thinking is very overrated.
Oh, totally.
And in fact, most inspired people talk about getting their inspiration at times when they're not thinking. So it's when you're in the flow. If you're a sports person, you kind of just start, running or swimming faster, easier, and there's no thought process involved. And the same with yourself, Philip, when you're doing your painting, you get some idea and it's not thought out. It just drops in, so to speak.
It makes you realize that there's more than ourselves, in the sense of particularly when we're connected through the yoga and through the meditation, that unconscious which we become connected to gives us such a lot. There's a lot around us which is gifted through nature, through everything. And when we become more silent and allow it to happen, it does drop in. I can speak from experience. I laugh sometimes at when you have an inspiration to do a painting or something. Oh, there it is. And it's there. And it happens a lot, but not trying to be too perfect. That's not the way it happens. I think Michelangelo actually talked of this to do with his work. The Sistine Chapel, for example, he said a lot just came through. And a lot of the great painters that know that, because a lot of them were realized souls and they had that inspiration. Yes.
And that's the ideal we're all seeking after and trying to recreate or relive, re-experience constantly. So it's not that you get your self-realization, which we'll do in a second, and then everything's perfect. You're able to see yourself, and as you see the little imperfections, just having our attention on them, that sometimes things drop out.
It's a process of growing, and you make your self-realization is realizing the self, which is the spirit, and the things that are surrounding that. And as you go along, you realize, oh, okay, about yourself, how
Yeah.
you are, and how the subtle system within us needs to be adjusted, cleared, and we progress slowly through that process.
And Philip, you were going to talk to us a little bit about, that old bully ego that bloats up and
Oh, yes.
squashes on our
I
on
think
our
I'm aware of it.
on
I
our
think I'm
sixth
aware of
energy
it.
center. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reflecting on what we've done or created and thinking, whoa, that was pretty good. I'm really good. Gee, I'm good at this. and the credit doesn't go where it's due from
It was
the
due,
mind
exactly.
dropping in, but I did this.
Well, it's like looking at a beautiful scene or something of creation. It is beautiful, and if something comes to you and you're doing it, you can't. The ego can't give it credit because it's there. The ego does have its place, or we wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't have will or action or anything like that. But we can't take much claim for much, really, when there is that creator out there who's made it all, really. Yeah, we're part of it. We've got to realize that, and it's a beautiful part.
So I see you've got the chart there, Philip. Maybe do you want to tell us a little bit about self-realization, how it's on the map there, and what's going to happen when we do that?
Well, I'll give you a brief overview of we've been created in a certain way as human beings. We started out, it's been a long process to get us to this point. But basically what happened, if you look at this chart, we have the blue line which started first here. That's beginning of creation in us, which is the innocence, it's the quality of the Mother Earth. That have evolved us and moved us on. And we went through the processes to become, to say, the Neanderthal, and then when the right side came in, the sun line within us, where the left side is the moon line, a very important, it's interesting relationship, sun and moon. When this right side came in, we became the human being and ended up having our ego, where the left side gives us our superego, our conditioning, our memory. And so we've evolved through a process that bring us to this point. And that was not through our doing. That was the way it was planned and made. This is why we as human beings have got this in us. It's all in there. It's part of the subtle body. It's our life force within us, related to the central nervous system. And we've come to a point where we need to take another step within as an answer to our problems. And this has happened through creation. We had to take steps, and this is why incarnations came to guide us on. But we chose not to take much notice of them generally. And we got to a point now where this energy within ourself, the Kundalini, which is residual in everybody, is waiting to give us more. And when it's awakened, this is what Shri Mataji introduced to the world in 1970, was once that's awakened, it moves up through this system as a cool breeze of vibration, pops out through the top, and that's union, that is yoga, or second birth, moksha, enlightenment. All of basic areas of spirituality have expressed the second birth or something to show us there's more. So that's the action within ourselves. Breaks through the top, and that awakens that central channel. And if we feel it within us in our central nervous system, it's a subtle thing, we use that through the information Shri Mataji has given us. So we evolve inside, and you're going back to talking about before about what's happening inside ourselves, the ego and what have you. You become aware of your left side and your right side and how you need to balance. And this central Kundalini gives us that balance when we go to it. And the whole practice of Sahaja Yoga is to clear left and right so we can come more to the center. So there's a balance within us, and that balance gives us the movement onwards. It's like a set of scales. We need to be balanced. And that's been spoken of in a lot of areas of that balance. And once the Kundalini is awakened, through our meditation and a desire, it'll work for us. But we need to meditate work with it, and let it grow. That's the thing. We've got to let it occur. It's a bit like talking before about inspiration and aesthetics and things like that, is that once you get your awakening, these things come to us, and they're there. There's not much we can lay claim for. And this is the thing about the ego. It really shows us in lots of ways our limitations, even though we do need it. It's there as part of our character. It makes us modern. It gives us action. It gives us the will and a strength, where the left side gives us more of an empathy, a subtlety, more of a loving side to our being in their purity and their real character. But it's important that Kundalini is awakened, we feel it for ourselves, and we follow up with looking after ourselves. And Shri Mataji stressed right from day one with Sahaja Yoga that we've got to become our own teacher and understand this system so we can look after ourselves. And you become aware of your superego, you become aware of your ego, you become aware of your chakras and where you need the adjustment within ourselves. And it is a process, takes a while, but it's once you hit on it and get into that silence and the meditation, there's no other place to be.
No. So why don't we get into that place? Philip, what do you say?
Okay, let's do that.
I'll put up the slide of the hand movements, seeing as
Okay.
we're so little in our pictures on Zoom currently. It'll be easier to see from the slide. So bear with me while I get that slide happening. It's coming. Hand positions is number 2 slide. Yep.
There it is.
Everyone see that?
Yep.
Okay. So Philip, did you want to take us through the
Okay.
process of getting into meditation for our first time?
For those who are here for the first time, and also for the ones who have attended before, we go through it together. And by doing this, we can get you into meditation if you've already had the yoga and help clear the system. But first, for people here for the first time, this enables us to feel what we're talking about. So we open our hands on our lap and understand that this is going to happen spontaneously. All we've got to do is desire it. We put our right hand on our heart and we ask the question, who am I? We're not this name, or we're not the past or the future. We're basically the spirit, which is in our heart. It's that the heart beats reflecting the energy of the spirit. It's eternal. And we are that. And this is what we've got to move to, which is a silent joy within ourselves. So we can say here, I am the spirit. Because underneath it all, that's what we are. Take the hand down to where the leg joins onto the body. And this is the area what's called the Swadhisthana. It's got to do with our aesthetics, our thinking, our planning, and knowledge. And here we can ask, am I the true knowledge? Because inside us it is our knowledge. It's inbuilt. We've got to come and to know it. And here we can say, please give me the pure knowledge. The knowledge which is how makes us grow, it's advantageous to us, makes us realize ourselves more. Please give me the pure knowledge. We move that hand up to the left-hand side of the navel And here, this area is to do with our mastery, or being the guru or the teacher of ourself. And we ask the question, am I my own master? And when we get to know this subtle body or the tree of life within us, that gives us our mastery. So we can safely say, I am my own master. I am my own master. You take that right hand back to the heart. A very short, simple affirmation, but very important. I am the Spirit. The Spirit is the joy, the peace, the silence within us. It's vast, it's big, it's not loud, but it's permanent, and it's in our heart. I am the Spirit. I am the Spirit. Now take that right hand up to the left shoulder where it joins the neck. This area is called the Vishuddhi, and it's an area where we have relationships with each other in the sense of human to human diplomacy, interaction. This left side is affected if we feel guilty about life, what we may have done or not done, whatever. But here we have to say, I am not guilty. It's not saying we become cold and callous about everything, but guilt can weigh us down. I am not guilty. I am not guilty. Now take that right hand up to the forehead, across the forehead. This is the Agya chakra, commonly called the third eye. And it's centered in the middle of our skull. It's an important chakra because here we forgive everyone and we forgive ourselves. Often forgiveness can be a bit of a test. It can be subtle, but it's one of our most important characteristics. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. You look at the present situation in the world, this simple affirmation could solve a lot of problems. Probably a bit much to expect, but on a personal level, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. It actually allows us to be free when we forgive. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. And please make me a forgiving person. That's a quality we need to acquire. Place our hand on the top of our head. This is our Sahasrara, or the limbic area, our crown. Call it our halo if you wish, our lotus. Represented in a lot of spiritual areas as either glowing or a crown, and it symbolizes a potent area. And here we ask, please give me my self-realization. And if we already had our awakening, please establish my self-realization. This is where we meditate upon when we do meditation. It takes us above our thoughts and allows us to be free. Please give me my self-realization. Please let me feel the thoughtless awareness. We can massage that slightly with the hand, keeping our attention there. You can lift our hand up slightly above to see if you feel a cool breeze there. When the Kundalini is flowing out the top, it's like a fountain. That's why the top of the head is known as the fontanelle. Very old Latin name for small fountain. Comes out as a fountain. You may feel that there is a cool breeze as a vibration to show that it has broken through, that the yoga has occurred. Keep our attention up there for a little while. Bring our right hand back to our lap. Just close our eyes for a minute or so, but keep our attention on the top, on our fontanelle. We can use our right hand. Oh, sorry. You can play some music. We can use our right hand. Just take it up the front of the body, following the spine, away from the body. And you lift your own Kundalini. Do that 3 or 4 times slowly. And it responds to this. It's intelligent. Feel again at the top. Position our attention there. And take our right hand back to our lap, but keep our eyes closed.
That was a lovely meditation, Philip.
Yeah, feels good.
We'll try to show everyone how to finish your meditation in general and start a meditation with the shortened way of going through the affirmations, which many people know of, which is to raise your Kundalini with your hands and then give yourself the protection. So we'll try and do that. Should we do that now, Philip?
Yes.
All right. So the left hand is going up and this right one is winding it around up to the top of our head and tying a knot. Second time, we can do 2 knots. And then the third time. And then those lovely vibrations that are now flowing in our hands, we'll use those to protect ourselves over our body, our aura. So we're going over and back 7 times, which is how many energy centers we have. And this is how you can start your little meditation you have each day and finish. Approximately 7. And then when you do that, you can feel an increase in vibrations in your hands and on the top of your head. So the goal being to try and keep that feeling going for your entire day if you've just done your meditation in the morning. And also, if you can do it at night, you can have a nice sleep as well. What might be nice to do also, Philip, you're going to tell us a little bit about this lovely ego and the incarnation who came on Earth to give us a few pointers.
Okay. Interesting with the chart, each of the chakras is represented by a deity that came in evolution to show humans the way to progress and giving their message for our betterment, actually. The particular one on this case is Sri Buddha, Sri Gautama Buddha. He was born in 563. He was in a wealthy family. He left that because he was the incarnation to seek his enlightenment and to show us that enlightenment is possible. And he went out and for a long time, he practiced extreme self-discipline. He left his riches behind. He had an ascetic lifestyle. And they say that after about 49 consecutive days of meditation, he became the Buddha, which means the enlightened one. So, but what is missing in this is that apparently what happened, he said, I can't do this on my own. And he was granted his realization because he surrendered his ego. the divine gave him.
Philip, it was that he stopped trying and it just came.
Yeah.
So
This is one of the secrets when we get our realization, our awakening, is we've got to let it happen. We can go, oh, I'm hopeless, I can't do that. That's left side. And we can say, oh, I'm going to do this. That's our right side. No, it's letting it happen. It's lifting the Kundalini. And he actually came to demonstrate that. And then he had people follow him a lot. He had a lot of compassion, which was part of his life. And I've got a couple of quotes here which really relate very deeply to what we're talking about, Sahaja Yoga. He says, do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. The victory is yours. Please, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. And the way is not in the sky. The way is in your heart. So he was enlightened. He was incarnation, and the things he said were true. And he came to guide humanity, the same as with the left Agya, Shri Mahavira came, which represents the Jain religion, and he did similar austerities through his superego, but in the end had to accept the fact that his realization was going to happen through the divine, not him. So it's an important thing to learn that our ego is limited when it comes to these really subtle things. And by forgiving, which we went through before, and it still applies to us as practitioners of Sahaja Yoga, is forgiving lets the ego come down. Those egos, they drop on the head like that, allowing this to open, and we can feel the silence more. But if these are up and active, they scramble all this. This is why we need to develop our meditation so the mind is open. A very important thing. Yeah, he was like all the incarnations, given to the world for its betterment, to show us things, and that's why they came.
And did he also not remember that he was an incarnation and then remembered later? You know, many of the incarnate or saints.
Yeah, well, Sri Rama forgot that he was as well, and they appeared as ordinary people as part of the illusion, the Maya, same as Christ or Muhammad or whoever, or Lao Tse, Confucius. There's a lot of them. They came and appeared as they had to come as to people to fit into humanity, not glowing and spark coming out of radiating big strong lights and all this sort of supraconscious stuff. They had to come to fit in, but they were noticed by a few to be different. And this is the important thing about incarnations. They appear normal, but they cover, yes, that's part of the illusion or the Maya. But the thing is, you can notice that they're particular, they're special. And that was one of his things is, he was one of the greats, yeah. Like all of them. It's like Christ said, he also talked about the Maitreya Buddha, of the one that would come in the future to give realization. Like Christ said, I'll send you the Counselor, the Comforter. And also said, know thyself, which is knowing our spirit. So they always indicated ahead what would need to occur, was indicated what they demonstrated would happen later by another one. So it's an interesting, when you study the evolution of the incarnations through, the connection with each other is beautiful. This is why it's hard to understand the divisions that are occurring, but the subtlety is there which link them together. Yeah.
And the word Maitreya, Philip, does that mean mother, or is it something?
May, mother, three mothers.
Oh, okay.
Freya. And it is also known in the Hindu religion is that the goddess has three aspects, past and future. So there's that the three, and it also has been mentioned in other areas as well as part of the quality of that totality of left, right, and center, which encases all. past, present, future. So it's Maitreya was that was to be
And
the
it's and also it the mother, father, son, or mother, father, child.
the Trinity tree,
Yeah.
which is interesting, and
All
it's
similar.
good you brought that up because that so reinforces the three thing.
Yeah.
So there's always been the father, the mother, the male, the female together. They all see Buddha had a sister who was his support. Muhammad had Fatima. Jesus had
Oh.
Mary. So you've always got this a combination. These
Mm.
have different purposes, but they are together. As in nature, there's the male, female. There's things that go together. They're very important.
Did we want to talk a little bit more about the right channel? I have some
Okay.
fancy slides, if that is a useful thing, Philip.
Okay. Do you
Point.
want to talk,
I
or
think
will I do that,
we've
or
got
you?
time. I'll be your tech person if you want to.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm not very technical. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do the tech part.
Okay.
Hopefully. Play from current slide. Let me get that for you. Here we are.
The right channel is the sun channel. And as I was saying before, the left channel is the moon, which is passive. Right channel is active. And that's reflected in us. We're very much a creation of what's around us. We have the earth in it. We have the air in ourselves. It's a right sympathetic nervous system called as sun channel or Pingala Nadi, which is a Sanskrit name for it. And it gives us with future planning. It has qualities of intellect, action, and physical aspects. So when we desire something, it usually comes from our left side, and we put ourselves into action to do it. So there's this combination working all the time. The important thing is the right channel is not to overdo it, because that leads to stress and actually damages our heart, which is known in the medical area. If you get too overactive, the heart does suffer. So the right channel is the active area of ourselves, the sun channel. Very important, or would be a blob if we got to have that activity and action to do things. The imbalances and problems is aggressiveness, which is an active ego, anger and over planning. And when we're in the right and in that area, and I think we can all identify with it, it is not a pleasant feeling. We have to be honest. We're off the path, and it doesn't make us feel good. It might blow the ego, but in the end, the ego bloat, it comes back on you, and you don't feel good about it. We have to be honest. It's excessive mental and physical activities. It gives us high blood pressure. And also, because we overthink and overplan, the liver, which provides fats for the brain to operate, gets overloaded. And we actually have a warm or hot liver. And as I said before, heart troubles. So if you go into the right, you affect your left, which where your heart is on the spirit. And it actually overuses the heart, overuses the liver. And there's an old saying that not so much around now, in days gone by, if somebody was hot-tempered, they'd say, have you got a hot liver? What's wrong with your liver? They identified that back then, but not so much now. And the important thing for the right channel is foot soaking, to tone down the right channel, where we use water, which is the opposite to the sun. It cools it. You know, you can get a bucket of water and throw it on a fire, fire goes. So that's the power that water has over a fire element. It can cool us down. Very important thing to do daily. And it cools our right side down. It's very good for us. The right hand on lap and left hand towards the roof or sky. A foot soaking in the water. If it's really hot, an ice pack on the liver. Minimum is 30 minutes after a meal. And surrender to results and situations rather than trying to control them too much. That's not total surrender where you become a blob, but there's a balance there. Humility towards people and all-pervading power. And the humility drops our ego, and it's very important. Humility is the opposite to ego. And it operates much, much better in human relationship if the ego is not so strong. And we know that when the ego is up in us or everyone else, it's not pleasant. It's not a good thing to see. But foot soaking is very important for the right channel and the liver to tone us down. If you've got really warm liver and feeling really hot hand or aggravated, or, you know, even cold water, foot soak is good.
So we've got a lovely video excerpt talking about the Shri Mataji is talking about the need to meditate. So maybe we can listen to that now and have our second meditation after that. Go straight into that. Thanks, Philip.
Thank you.
Such a blessing it is for you that you cannot be cheated, because also you are looked after by the divine, guided all the time by the divine. Have faith in the divine. Have faith in the divine. That's very important, as you have faith in a candle. Have faith that the divine will give you the light, will guide your path, will take you to the right place to do the right things. I mean, so many of these experiences are with you. I need not tell you how much people have written to me, how they found things working out. Despite all that, we are collective, we are nice to each other, we don't tell lies, we don't try to destroy anyone. That means we are much above all human failings. And this is only because of the light. You can see where you are faltering. It's just you see for yourself. For that, I think meditation is the most important thing in such. Every day you should do meditation. Those who do not do meditation are capable of falling down. Because meditation is like putting oil into the lamp. Those who do not meditate, think they can do without it, are sadly mistaken. They have to meditate morning and evening. The problem is, everything comes so handy, so simple, that they don't understand that meditation is very important. Many people. Not you, but there are many I know who get realization, don't meditate. And their style is different. Their nature is different. Meditation is such a soothing thing, such a beautiful way of connection with the divine, that all your problems get solved in that meditative mood. If you are not meditating, you are not following meditation, then maybe your light will go down. It won't give sufficient light. It's important, very important, to find out about yourself, about others, in the meditation. How to do meditation? Many people ask me. Don't do anything. to just go into thoughtless awareness. Try to go to the thoughtless awareness. If you can get into that condition of thoughtless awareness, you've done your job. Because that's the point where you are with the truth, with the reality, with the joy, with everything that is so fundamental. When you meditate, try not to make some sort of a function out of it. No. Meditation is something silencing yourself, silencing your thoughts, and going to that deep ocean which is within you itself. But supposing you don't do that, if you don't meditate, I can make out immediately those who are meditating and those who are not. It's not difficult for me. Those who do not meditate are always hesitating. They are confused. They can't understand. And that's why meditation is the most important thing in surgery. Just like a light burns with the electricity flowing in it, you can say, or by because of the candles. In the same way, meditation is a continuous availability of the divine force. That will reduce all your apprehensions. Not only that, but takes out all the negative thoughts. It takes out all the discouraging things. And when you are meditating like that, thoughtless awareness, then you will be amazed how you are helped from within and without. It's a terrible power that works, this thoughtless awareness. So those who do not meditate cannot go very much far with the advantage of Sahaja Yoga. One should try to meditate and go up to the point of thoughtless awareness. So, what happens to you? If you are in thoughtless awareness, what happens to you is that you get the confidence, complete confidence of divinity. You know you have that. I have seen children coming from our school in Dharamshala, extremely confident and extremely humble. And I asked them, what do you do? They said, Father, we meditate. We meditate in the school, in the evening, and that meditation helps. Imagine these small children can say that. So why not you also understand it? That meditation will give you security. It will give you a real enlightenment and a complete connection with the divine. Without the connection of the divine, what's the use of doing surgery? I know the people who are meditating, who have gone down into their being and who are very developed. Also, I know people who are little superficial. Your depth is in thoughtless awareness. It's a very important point which you should reach. Looking at anything, if you are thoughtlessly aware, then you really become reflective about it. Just works out that way. I don't know how far you can remain in that condition. But even for a second you can achieve it. You start achieving it more and more. I've talked so much about meditation before, but today when I see all these candles burning, I think they are all meditative. They are all in meditation, and that's how they are burning. In the same way, Sahaja Yogis who meditate, I know, and those who don't, I know. And if they have problems, I know why the problems are there. Main thing is your connection with the divine is only possible when you meditate and become thoughtlessly aware. That's the point where divine works. It helps. It comes to your help in such a way that you don't know how you have achieved it. So thoughtless awareness is the first point all of you should achieve. Very important. After that, we can achieve something else. But the first step is thoughtless awareness. It's very important to become thoughtlessly aware, because then there are no thoughts coming from the left or right, from the present or the future. Just in the present, you are there. It's something you all have. It's not that I'm saying that to you, but all of you have this. But steady yourself. You have to steady yourself at thoughtless awareness. How long? That's not the point. The point is once you touched it, you will go on touching it. Many people meditate, but their thought process is going on. They are not thoughtlessly silent. Now, this is the one point which is very important. If you have to grow, you should be absolutely in connection with the divine through thoughtless awareness. You don't have to pray. You don't have to call anyone. Nothing. It just works because it is within you. All these thoughts are bombarding from both the sides in your mind. These thoughts that are coming to you have no meaning with you. They do not substantiate yourself. You are an ocean. And you have to get into that state of thoughtless awareness. It is always described in all the great books, but not so clearly as I am telling. I don't say that some of you do not get thoughtless awareness, so they are good for nothing. No. But please try. You can all get into that state of thoughtless awareness. Even for a second, if you get it, it's a very good idea. Then you go on increasing that second.
Let's go into that state of thoughtless awareness. We can just close our eyes for a minute. Philip might have to get Sarah to unmute and put the video back on. But while we wait for Philip to come back on, let's just pay attention to our right side a little more. So we'll keep our right hand on our lap. I'll just show you the slide of what we're doing. we'll bend our left hand up and the right hand is on our lap. And just inside ourselves, we'll ask those affirmations. Mother, Divine Mother, please give me pure attention. So that's what heats up our liver and gives us various sicknesses. If we're paying attention to lots of things that are not good for our spirit. So we're asking Divine to please give us pure attention. So you can close your eyes. Keeping attention back up on the top of our head. Just by trying to feel what's happening on top of your head. Mother, Mother Nature or Divine Mother, I surrender my ego. And then just relax, two hands on your lap. The two palms are open on your lap. Just paying attention to your breath. You take your right hand back on your heart on the left-hand side, where Philip was directing us in our first meditation. We can say that same affirmation again, that I am the Spirit. So that's how we purify our attention, by remembering who we really are, who is the I. I am the Spirit. And we can take our hand up to the neck. So just in the center there. So on the left-hand side, we were saying the affirmations that I'm not guilty. And now with the hand in the center of our Vishuddhi chakra, our center of our communication and our collectivity, I am the witness. So I'm watching everything that's happening in the drama of life and not reacting. So we can also say, Divine Mother, Mother Nature, please let me not react and witness and observe the drama of life. And then coming up to our forehead again, we can bend our head a little forward with the affirmation, I forgive, I forgive. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I forgive all the thoughts. And back onto the top of our head at the fontanelle bone area. Just pulling the fingers back so we can press down with the palm of our hand onto that soft area that it would have been soft when we were babies. And rotating the scalp. It's giving it a little massage, clockwise direction. Mother, please let me feel thoughtless awareness in the present moment. Just taking the hand up, just try to feel that subtle flow coming out of the top of your head. Could be up high, could be close. And keeping your attention there in that spot, just bringing both hands back, open in your lap. And just from your heart, asking Mother, please let me feel the silence and the joy of thoughtless awareness. I'll just play a little bit more of the music we were listening to earlier. Just try to listen through the top of your head. very reluctant to end, but we'll have a little recap of what we did today. Plus, we've got a lovely question from Yo as well about the right side. But let's just recap how we start and finish our meditation by finishing this meditation, raising our Kundalini. So the left hand of desire is raising up, and the right hand of action winds around it. So it's just a way to remember which hand does what. And then we're just tying a knot up at the Sahasrara, because that's where we want to be. We'll do that 3 times. Second time, we can either do just the 1 knot or we can do 2 knots. And then the third time, attention on that left hand, 3 knots. So we want to keep our attention right up there. And then with our right hand, we're putting that protection of those lovely vibrations over all our chakras, our whole body. We're going over and back 7 times. It's good to do this before we venture out for the day. Keep ourselves in that state of pure attention. Thank you, everyone. So we talked a little bit about some of the imbalances of the right side. Yo, you were asking about, in particular, about what causes the different conditions because of unhealthy diet or just the overheated liver. So the important change of mind is that you go by what you feel. So if it's for yourself, it's what you're feeling, and that's what you try to rectify. And then the assumption is that those sicknesses, although that high blood pressure, will come down because of your correction of what you can feel about yourself, which is, it's a little bit of a different mindset from trying to think that my food, I mean, it could be if you eat a lot of, if there's foods that heat your liver up, a lot of oily things, that's a kind of natural thing. That yes, it could be if you're having lots of hot chips and fried things, and you've got a heated up liver, which is giving you migraines, say, or as in what you've asked, Yo, which is high blood pressure. But the most important thing is to go by what you're feeling in your subtle system. So that's more of the cause rather than the effect. So the effect is illness. If that imbalance stays there long enough, you get sick. So you're going to the cause, which is trying to correct that subtle system. Philip, what was your take on that? The question from Yo was talking about the right channel. How can we balance it? Only foot soak, or those who get high blood pressure or any sickness, is it because of liver overheated only, or because of unhealthy diet?
Well, Shri Mataji expressed it in the talk. The reason why we get overactive is mostly mentally, which generates the overactivity of the physical. So if we can get into that silent state in thoughtless awareness, which he said many times, she really stressed that a lot of times, and this is what we try not to nag about, but it's very important, is that when we get into that thoughtless awareness state, it calms the right side and gets us into reality, and you can actually operate a lot better. And I speak from experience. You can, if you're more thoughtless as you're doing things, you can actually get more done in a more calmer way. So the thing with foot soaking is that cool water cools the right side down. Do it each day. And remember, this is not an overnight thing. This goes on. And also be aware of the overactivity physically, or pull yourself back a bit. If you're eating, as Lynn said, too much fatty food and stuff like that, if you're more left-sided, it's better for you. But if you're more right-sided, it's best not to have things that actually affect the liver. Alcohol is no good for the liver. it generates, it's very bad for the liver. So overactivity can generate heat. The wrong food can generate heat of the liver. But foot soaking is very important. But the main thing is realize through the meditative practices that it's not that I am doing it. The Kundalini is working it out for you. It's independent. It's like the sprouting of the seed and becoming the tree. We just water it and it grows. The same with this is that be aware that you are not the doer. And this is what we talked about with the Buddha before. But foot soak, be patient with yourself, and gradually you'll start to feel, oh, I am calmer. It's a process. Happens, yeah.
Well, we've gone a little bit over time.
Okay.
I'd love to chat on, but we're holding people back from their other things they've got planned. We will actually do a foot soak, as we were talking about foot soaking. So many of you have done the foot soak with us, but if you haven't, we'll certainly do that in the next couple of weeks. And maybe if you're in the WhatsApp group, we'll put a bit more, we'll put a video showing you how to do that in the WhatsApp group too, just to remind everyone. That's a kind of daily thing that's very helpful for us right-sided people. Oh, did I say I was right-sided? No, we all need a good foot soak. It's all fine. But thanks everyone for joining. And certainly happy to answer any more questions, maybe at the end of next session. And don't forget to do your daily meditation, which we have those also in the WhatsApp group for you. Otherwise, simply raising Kundalini and just sitting silently for 5 minutes is also good value. So we'll leave you with a lovely bhajan from Nimal Sangeet Sarita, a favourite bhajan group. And see you next time. Yes, Yo, I'm going to answer your question. Yes, it is good. It is a very good question, Yo. She said, is it good to do foot soak every day and throw away all the overheated right side? Yes, absolutely. All right. I'll share a bit of music for you all and have a lovely day or a lovely night, depending on your time zone. And look forward to the next time. And thank you very much, Philip, for a lovely session.
Thank you, Lena. Good evening to you all.
Good evening, everyone. Yes.
Thank you.
Let's find that song. Where is it? There it is.
जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है। काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है। मोहब्बत का खजाना भी, मोहब्बत का खजाना भी क्या खूब खजाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है, काम जिसका फकत काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है। मोहब्बत का खजाना भी, मोहब्बत का खजाना भी क्या खूब खजाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है, काम जिसका फकत ये दौलत दिल की लुटाना है। कुदरत जो हजारा करिश्मा दिखाती है, कुदरत जो हजारा करिश्मा दिखाती है, कुदरत जो हजारा करिश्मा ये लफ्ज़ मोहब्बत का अदना सा फसाना है, ये लफ्ज़ मोहब्बत का अदना सा फसाना है, सिमटे तो दिल आशिक।
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. Look forward to next time. Good night.